Nah. Oi, Fusions!
Yes, now gangsters, Fusions Online back again with a brand new video. Now, as you can see from the channel, we have kind of had a bit of a, what would you call it, bit of an overhaul. We are going to be changing direction in the future that we move with this channel. Instead of just doing random videos here and there, I want to try and open up my knowledge to anyone who wants to learn new things. But we are going to be kind of diving down the route of FiveM and custom things for FiveM. So I want to build like a little mini series where we do some custom FiveM assets. We're going to be doing and learning some chains, well, custom chain design. We're going to be learning custom vehicle plates, custom clothing, bits and bobs in between. But yeah, this is the first video. This is going to be on a custom chain. This is going to be part one of the video. The reason I'm not doing it all in one big long video is for the simple fact that I don't want to, what's the correct phrase? I don't want to give people information overload. When you watch these tutorials, I want you to understand exactly what I'm doing, what you're doing, if you're following along and stuff like that. And obviously I don't want to overdo it, so then you get lost midway through, need to rewind the video, need to fast forward the video. We've all been there. I've been there myself. I've had to do it. So yeah, this is just kind of the best way that I could think myself on how to do it. So, right, we're gonna, there we go. So, for chains, you're going to need 4 programs. You're going to need Blender, you're going to need Inkscape, you're going to need OpenIV, and you're going to need Photoshop. Now, the first 3 programs are free. Photoshop, obviously, you do have to pay for, but you can find alternative image editing softwares, both online and also ones that you can download. So that's completely up to you. You don't have to use Photoshop. That's just what I use. So what you also want to do if you are making a chain, I find it a lot easier just to keep everything together. So I've made a new folder here called tutorial chain. If you open it, yet again, we've got other folders. So we've got one for 3DS. We'll get to that at a later time. Got one called Blender. That's already got a chain in there. Got one called Complete, empty. Another one called Text, which again is empty, but we'll be using that shortly. And we've also got a folder called Texture, which has one file in there. Again, we'll kind of, as we go on, we'll explain what everything's for. So, best way to do it, boot up Photoshop. Wait for that to load. Right, so, as you can see, now in Photoshop, obviously, whatever image editing software you are going to be using, it will be different, but again, this is just what I like to use. So we go over to new file. As you can see, these are just some of my recent items. You probably won't have that. You'll probably have your own, but it's fine. What I like to do is make a 2048 by 2048 pixel width, length kind of thing. Basically a massive square canvas. I like to make it transparent. I like to make the resolution 300. So click create, there we go. Now another thing I like to do, I like having the rulers on, so we can always find the center point. With the resolution that I gave, the center point is going to be 1024. So what you want to do, you want to press T to create a new text. Just for ease sake, I'm just going to call it texture. I'm not going to call it texture, sorry. I'm going to call it tutorial. There we go. Cancel. Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button. Tutorial. There we go. Right, select it. Now, again, just for ease, I'm just going to use the Bada Boom font. So one of those things. So, let's scale it. Decent size. Put it in the middle like that. There we go. Now, you can go bigger, you can go smaller, but just for tutorial kind of sake, just going to leave it like that. So this is going to be our first little text image. So what you want to do, file, export, quick export as PNG. I'm going to find the folder, which is somewhere. There it is, tutorial chain. Save it in the text folder and just save it as number 1. That's just something I do. Again, you'll understand why as we go further into it. Then what you want to do, go back into the layer style, add a stroke The stroke is going to be 15. Again, it looks a bit weird, but that's fine. Again, file, export, quick export as PNG, saved as number 2. Again, what you want to do, go back over to the layer style of the stroke, change this size from 15 to 30. Again, there we go. Now, one thing I do like to do, make a new layer, make sure your colour's black, and just colour in any of the things that kind of have gaps. I'm going to leave that one. But yeah, there we go. That looks about right. There we go. That was a bit weird. Again, file, export, quick export. There we go. Save it as number 3. Save. Right, there we go. We are now finished with the kind of text of the what's actually going to be on the chain. Do you need Photoshop still or your image editing program? But just for now, that's fine. Now we move over to the program Inkscape, sorry. So I use this program for the simple fact that I can import PNG files and then save them, well, re-export them then as an SVG file, which is what you're going to be using in Blender. So you're going to be met with this, you're probably not going to have anything there. All you need to do, press open, desktop, scroll down, tutorial chain, text, number 1, open. Wait for that to load. Shouldn't take too long. There we go. Now that that's open, go back up to file, open. Again, find your folder, open number 2. Now, by the second one, if we now reopen, it should automatically route, there we go, to our text folder. So then open up number 3. So now you've got all 3 layers open. Again, this, I'm not saying this is the best way to do it. This is just the way that I've learned myself and watched countless videos for over the years. This is now just how I do it. So you've got number 3 open first, double click it until that kind of cross appears. Head over to a trace bitmap, click apply, click back over to export, change it from PNG to SVG, click export. As simple as that. Let me close that one, then go to the second one. Do the exact same process over again. Close that one. Now we're back on the first one. Trace bitmap, apply, export, SVJ, export. There we go. That's perfectly done. Right, so now we close that. So if we now look in the folder, go into text, we've now got 1, 2, and 3. But as you can see, we've got a duplicate of each file. So now we've got a PNG, and then we've also got a Microsoft Edge HTML document, apparently. It's not, it's an SVG. That's just where it saves us. But before we continue, again, texture, all we've got is spec map. So what you want to do, reopen your Photoshop or your image editing program, go to new file. Again, use the same as the previous one. Again, pull out the rulers so you know. There we go, and there we go. Now, this is where we are going to get the textures for our chain. So, I've already got quite a few on my system, which unfortunately I'm not going to be able to show you. But I will be including a couple of different ones. One that I always love to include is diamond, because what's a diamond chain without a diamond texture? Drag that over. There we go. That should then fill up the top left portion. So we close that. Then we go back over to open. Again, I do apologize that you can't see this, but yeah. Now we've got this this image. Again, these will both probably be included. Go back up to open. We'll use this one. Move that over. That's a lot bigger. It's fine. We'll resize it down. There we go. Quickly close these, and then we'll go with a nice little color. We shall choose. We shall choose this nice little purple that I've got. There we go. So again, drag that over. You'll soon come to realise that FiveM chains are very much just do the same thing over and over and over again. That's fine. Just resize that a little bit. Same with that one. There we go. make sure they are still central and they're not really overlapping. So there we go. We've now got our texture file. So what you want to do, save. 1 second. There we go. Save it in texture. Call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it tutorial texture. There we go. I like to save mine as a PSD just so then I can re-edit it if needs be. Also then save it as, you can even now save it as a PNG or a DDS for sake of not needing to install anything else. I'll just save it as a PNG. Save, there we go. Now, there we go, let's finish. There you go. Now, as you can see, we've got these here. Now, what you're going to want to do, go to your internet browser of choice. 1 second. This link will also be in the description. It'll take you to this website here, Normal Map Online. Now, there are other ways to do it, but again, just for ease sake, I'm just going to do it this way. So, right, you're going to want to get rid of displacement, specular, keep normal. Select files, find your texture that you've just made, which is this one, press open. There you go. Now you can see we've got ambient and normal. We don't need the ambient, we just need the normal. So I'm going to open this, I'm going to drag it away though, just because I've got a lot of files in there. There we go. So as you can see, we've now got texture, tutorial, and texture, tutorial, normal. We'll need both of those, but again, when it gets closer to that, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. So, now what you want to do, open up Blender. Right, so, here's Blender. What you want to do as soon as it opens, press A on your keyboard, and then delete. Right, so, what you want to do, go up to File, Import, and then SVG. G. Right, desktop, once again, find your folder. So, as you can see, we've got all of our SVGs in here. Select all of them, import. You'll then get all of these ones here. Also, best way to view something in Blender, click one of them, and then press your full stop on your numpad. There you go. So, something I like to do, drag all of these out of their respective folders or collections. Then select all of them again, drag them into the normal collection, change that to text, and then there we go, we have our layers. So, what you want to do, now that you've got them all in, you want to hide the second and third one. So then you're just left then with the first. As you can see, that's all the only one there. Then what you want to do, if you go down to the data, open the geometry tab, and then what you want to do, where you see extrude, press and hold shift, drag it up until it gets to 0.01. Simple enough. Hide that layer, the second layer, make that visible once again. Exactly the same, but instead of stopping at 0.01, we go all the way up to 0.02. Again, third layer, we do the exact same as the second layer, shift, click, drag to 0.02. There we go. Now, make all of your layers visible once again. As you can see, nothing really has changed other than the fact now that they're all kind of big. So, what you want to do now, press 3 on numpad. There you go, that gives you the side view. And then what you want to do, press the second one with control. Also press the first one. Press on the move. The first one hasn't come up for some reason. It's fine, we'll just select it separately. There you go. Now, as you can see, now got 3 different layers, 3 different thicknesses, but that's exactly what we wanted. So, what you want to do now, go down to material, press the minus, which is remove material, do that for all 3. Right, so go up to the first one, press new, base color, image, texture, open. Go back to our folder from before, which is there. Texture, there it is. Make sure you select the one that you actually saved, not the normal one. So open image, there you go. Now nothing will happen, that's fine. Make sure you then go to the second, press this little globe icon. Make sure you press material.001. Exact same with the third one. There we go. So now, you want to select all three of the layers, like so. Right click, convert to mesh. Then what you want to do, come up to the top right where you've got all your different viewing modes. If you press this down arrow here, press texture, there you go. Now, I know it looks complete, it's not state currently, that's perfectly fine. So, go to path number 1, press tab to go into edit mode. Oh no, never mind, you shouldn't need to do that. Sorry. Right, go over to the tab UV editing, press A on your keyboard, then you're met with absolute mess. So if you then move your cursor over to the right side of the screen and press 7, that then gives us top view. Zoom in a little bit, make sure it's positioned kind of central. And then while your mouse is still on the far right tab, press U on your keyboard and then press cube projection. There you go. That's now on here. So move your mouse then back over to the left tab, press A on your keyboard, S for scale, scale it down a little bit. Now for this one, I think we're going to have it, yeah, we're going to have it in this. There we go. There we go. Just make sure it all fits. There are ways of getting it to fit a bit better. You can rotate, you can do things like that, but to me that looks okay. So then we go back to layout. As you can see, we've now got that on there. So then you want to go to the second one. Exact same process again. Click the second one, go over to UV editing, press A on your keyboard on the right side of the screen, U again, cube projection, there you go. Now I'm going to make this one purple. Again, it's just about moving it around, making sure that it's all well and nice in there. I'm going to choose these bits here, go back over to layout, there you go, look. Now go back over to number 3, UV editing once again, A on your keyboard, U, cube projection, A again, scale it down a little bit, move it over to the black texture. And then looking layout, there we go. Now there are ways to get these looking a lot better. I will go into that in a future video. So now we've got it like this, what we can do is go up to File, Save As. 1 second, there we go, tutorial chain, Blender. So I'm going to save this now as before text join. Save as. Then what you want to do, click and drag so all three of the layers are selected, then press Ctrl and J on your keyboard or right click, make sure they're all joined, so then there we go, we've now got one singular file. Now I'm going to keep this first video short and sweet. We are going to leave it there. Let me quickly go back over to this one. There we go. The second one will be linked to this one once it's been recorded and once it's out. Hopefully you've all been able to follow the tutorial up to this bit, and hopefully you've all enjoyed. If you have, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Again, if you've got any kind of thoughts for future videos, drop that down in the comments. And hopefully I shall see you on the next one. Peace.